Hey guys, welcome back to Shutterbug Club. I'm your host, Sue, and today we're going to talk about goals for 2026. I hope this episode helps you to feel inspired, maybe gives you some ideas for your business. I'm going to talk about my business goals as a photographer, but also some personal ones. Planning your year, like setting goals, taking time to really reflect and think about what you want your next year to look like can be so powerful. And I only started doing this maybe like 2 years ago. And it's also just so fun to kind of look back at the end of the year and like check off things. I mean, ideally, you should be reviewing your goals multiple times throughout the year. But I kind of made like a huge list of goals and then forgot about them. Like I still had them in my mind, but to actually go back and read through them was kind of cool to be like interesting to see how much my mindset shifted throughout the year and also like what goals I accomplished and what goals I didn't. So I'm going to kind of review some of the goals from 2025 and tell you what goals I have coming for 2026. And I just want to have fun and also just like make this a space where it's not all just business hard talk. I want it to be fun and enjoyable also. So just a little catch up on what's been happening. It is January 5th. Hold on. Question mark. January 6th. So the holiday craziness is over, which I got sick. My husband and I, Zach, went to Seattle for Christmas and we both got sick on the way back. So we've been recovering. I'm finally feeling better. And I went on a bike ride the other day and I had a little tumble. I fell and rolled off my bike, which honestly, not surprising. Actually, even though I ride bikes literally every single day, like mountain bikes, I'm not good at it. I suck. So I fall quite often. But this one was kind of bad and I literally have bruises everywhere. Also, I don't wear a helmet. I probably should. I wanted 2025 to be all about building healthy habits and improving 1% every day. That's what I have at the top of my goals list. I think I read Atomic Habits. I thought it was at the beginning of 2025, but maybe it was even into 2024 at the end. But Atomic Habits, like, I'm not even kidding, that book actually did change my life. Like, I can confidently say 2025 was a year about building habits and creating systems. And I've grown so much because of that. So honestly, I feel really accomplished that I was able to stick to so many of these habits that I created for myself. And I can tell a big difference in like my mental health, in getting things done. Okay, so starting with business goals for 2025. First one says to grow my business and outsource tasks to give myself more time. Which, one thing I will say about my goals from last year, I was not specific at all. Like I said, grow my business, and reviewing that, I'm like, okay, yeah, it grew, but like, what did I mean? But outsource tasks to give myself more time, that one actually, check, I did do that. I read this book, Buy Back Your Time by Dan. I can't remember his last name. But anyways, I'm going to review it sometime on this podcast. But that book was really helpful to give myself more time because that was something I was really struggling with, was not feeling like I had enough time to accomplish everything. And so I actually did hire an assistant. And I've hired a few assistants in the past, but they never really worked out. And that's just because I didn't know what tasks to give them. So I did hire an assistant and it's worked out really well. She's still with me. She's actually my best friend who I hired, which makes it a little easier, but she's also an incredible personal assistant. And I've literally been able to double the amount of work that I do and the amount of goals that I get done in like half as much time because of being able to outsource things. So that's been incredible. Okay, get more organized. And I wanted to like reply to messages right away, upload photos to hard drive immediately, stay on top of monthly expenses. And because of the habits I built for myself and like these systems, I did become more organized, but that's definitely something that still needs to be worked on. I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm just going to kind of summarize, but a lot of them are about social media, creating high quality videos, becoming an educator, content creator. Again, not very specific, but I will say, if I'm being completely honest, when I made these goals back in 2025, a lot of my priorities were kind of set on becoming rich and famous. I never would have thought of it like that in the moment, but a lot of them are just like very money based or social media based, like get more followers. Like I have one on here that's each 100 followers on Instagram and 500 on TikTok, which I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting followers because I've seen the impact having followers has. It has grown my business. Like I have been able to get more opportunities and stuff like that. But moving forward in 2026, I really just want to focus more on like community, which honestly, I got like, how much was it? Like 30,000 followers. So I'm at like 70. So I got kind of close to 100 on Instagram, which I'm super happy about. But on TikTok, I didn't grow a single, like maybe 100 followers. What's crazy about gaining followers is it's like the more you gain, also the more you lose. So that can be kind of hard too, because it's like there were some days I lost 1,000 followers in one day. And so you just have to not let it like affect your mental health so much. Moving on to personal goals, Zach and I were able to go to Belize, which was one of my goals. And that was like our honeymoon because we never were really able to go on a honeymoon. So that was so much fun. And then also, I have on here to take a dance class, which I didn't do, sadly. So that one's moving over to 2026. And that's pretty much the recap of 2025 for my goals that I set. Now we're going to go to 2026. So, like I mentioned, my mindset has really shifted going into 2026, and I feel at peace. Honestly, I think this peace comes from knowing that I'm going to accomplish my goals or at least move the needle. Like, it just comes from having such a hard year. Like, I'm not even going to lie, 2025 was so hard in so many ways, but it pushed me to grow. And I just feel almost like, wow, I did that. I did so many things that I never thought I would do. I just feel like a new confidence and a new peace going into 2026. Yes, I still have a lot to learn, but I'm really excited to see where it takes me. So, starting with business goals. First one is to get re-inspired. Now, I go into that a little bit deeper. I want to join a local photography club. There is this local photography club in my town, which is kind of surprising because it's such a small town, but they're not going to be in like the same niche as I am or like doing the same stuff that I am, which is mostly why I want to join it too, because it'll be really cool, I think, to have some new perspective and just like be around other people who are so inspired. You know how people always say like the Uncle Bob or Uncle Joe at a wedding is the older male photographer who comes up to you because you have a camera, but he does it because he's so passionate about photography. Like he could talk your ear off for hours about photography. It's unfortunate when they think they know it all and then they're like trying to tell you what to do, which I feel like is where a lot of the content about Uncle Joe comes from or Uncle Bob. But I recently shot a graduation party and there was this elderly man there and he started talking to me about my camera and I honestly had the best time talking to him. Like he showed me his pictures and we talked for like 2 hours and the mom of the senior whose party I was photographing was like, "I'm so sorry about like you having to sit through that." And I was like, "Honestly, no, I had so much fun." And it made me really just want to get more into the photography community in my area so that I can like be with people face to face and just like see these new perspectives and be around people who are inspired and inspiring to just find a new place to get inspiration besides just social media. Another way I'm going to get re-inspired is taking self-portraits each month. I've been doing this for years now, but I kind of slacked in 2025. And it's something also I've noticed by slacking, trying to get back into it is even harder. Like I step in front of the camera and suddenly I don't know what to do anymore. Like I feel a little bit self-conscious. I don't really love the photos. But I got to a point when I was taking self-portraits a lot where I actually loved the photos. Like I knew I could step in front of the camera doing a self-portrait shoot and like know that I was gonna get at least 10 good photos out of it. But now I'm like, okay, I have to relearn like angles. I have to try new poses. Also, just like getting older and stuff, my body is changing. And so it's just different. So I want to do self portraits again, just as a way to get inspired and have that creative outlet. Oh, okay. So next on here is to network with local businesses and the community. Networking is huge. And I love so many of the small local businesses in the area, and I really just want to do more networking. Want to A lot of 2026 goals are like helping other people, which 2025 was too, but I kind of lost that throughout the year. Like, I got really caught up in myself. Like, I got really stuck on social media and I was like, why isn't my social media performing well? Nobody's liking my posts. And I got really in that mindset instead of in like the giving mindset. I was like, me, instead of just like going out and giving. And so I want to be really involved in the community. I really want to do something that's bigger than myself and use my social media platforms to really help and inspire others. So, tying that back to networking more in the community, I'm going to be focusing on creating content around like businesses, like tying in photography, but also just like helping other businesses and like collaborating with people. This kind of got inspired by my episode where I shared unique ways to get new leads as a photographer. And one of them was creating a series called Women Who Inspire and like documenting women's stories. And that was an idea ChatGPT came up with. So I kind of was like, yeah, that's cool. But I've thought about it for a long time. And that's a new series that I'm creating in 2026, which I'm really excited about. And I'm actually going to be talking to business owners. Like, I have this local boutique owner who I always go to for her clothes and her fashion, and my clients, I always recommend them to her. So I'm going to interview her and I'm going to give her like an editorial styled photo shoot and share her story. And like, hopefully, I'm going to try and get it in the newspaper too, and really just like make it this big thing that is lifting other people up. So I'm really excited about that, honestly. So I actually don't have any goals this year about followers, but I do have a goal that says stop caring about Instagram followers. Instead, post content you genuinely love and had fun making. Now, this doesn't mean I'm going to go into social media without a strategy, because I definitely have a social media strategy. I know how to like hook in a viewer and make the content where it's relatable to other people. So I'm still going to be focusing on those things to create good content, but I'm not going to be focusing on like just gaining followers. I'm going to be focusing on creating deeper content that instead of gaining followers, it creates a deeper connection, because there are so many different goals you can have with social media. And in my past, my biggest goal was just like reach a wide audience, like get as much attraction as you can. But now I really want to focus on the connection and the community. And as long as I'm happy with it and I had fun making it, then I'm going to be happy. Which also, going into this, I want to create content that kind of pushes me outside my comfort zone of like myself. Like, I have some funny, maybe skit ideas that I might do, just like talking to the camera. Like, I've always been scared to be silly online or in social media or even just like talking to people. I think that's just the shy part in me. I never really show that side of myself, and so I want to push myself a little bit more to create content that maybe I cringe at, but I had fun making it. Okay, another one on here. This one's kind of huge, kind of unrealistic, but I want to become a Sony ambassador. That sounds so fancy. I love Sony. I'm obsessed with Sony. After I went on that Cando trip with Sony over the summer, I just like love the brand and I really want to create more content around Sony cameras, like educating other photographers and hopefully getting the attraction of Sony. And then also, I really want to be invited back to the next Sony Cando event, because they have one once a year. I don't know if I will be. I honestly don't even know how I got invited to this one. I don't know like what really qualifies you, because I feel like I know so many Sony photographers out there who use Sony, and I'm like, they are awesome too. So I don't really know, but I am still going to make an episode on that and just like sharing my tips on how to get invited to like brand PR events and like working with brands. Speaking of working with brands, actually, and ambassadorships, I just got asked to be an ambassador for Evato AI, which this is not sponsored. But if you don't know what Evato is, it's basically an editing platform. And I started using it very recently, and I worked for the brand a few times. And I'm honestly obsessed with it. I love it. And they just reached out to me and asked if I would become an ambassador. So I actually have a call with them later tonight. So nothing's official yet, but I am really excited about that. Okay, my next goal is to grow my email list. Email lists are something I got into the end of last year, and I'm so glad I did. They seem like they're going to be incredible for my business. So I will keep you updated on what I learn and hopefully have some guest speakers. But my goal is to create an email list of 500 clients or like potential clients, leads, I guess, and then 2,000 photographers because I really still want to get into like the photography education space as well as booking photo shoots. I have said that for years that I want to get into photography education, but 2026 is the year that I actually just do it. Last year, I created like some mentorship options, which was cool. I didn't really get any of like the big package that I wanted to do, but I did book a coaching call, which was really fun and cool. So I definitely want to just do more like photography education this year. I was thinking about like what I might have to offer photographers, like what I would be really good at teaching. And I think I would be really good at teaching photographers about imposter syndrome and facing your fears and like starting a photography business, like getting over mental obstacles of starting a business, and also maybe like overcoming being a shy photographer or how to have a successful business as a shy photographer, because I would say that's been my biggest struggle in my photography business. And I have grown so much from learning how to navigate that. And I know a lot of people struggle with that too. And so I feel like that's something I might get into more in 2026. Okay. Next goal is to have the best senior model team yet. This is going to be my 4th year having a senior rep/model team. And I won't lie, it's been rough. Like, I've had to learn a lot this year. My model team was pretty good, but I want more excitement. Like, I'm not getting the bonding feeling like I really want, which usually everyone bonds like towards the end of the year more. But I just want to feel more connection. Like, I want to figure out how to get these girls and myself to connect more because, I mean, I know being a teenager and hanging out with people you don't necessarily know can be really awkward. And I just want to make it more fun. And I want these girls to really leave with new, incredible friendships, which I was talking to my friend about this, and she said, like, a lot of that is not on me. It's on them to put themselves outside their comfort zone and make new friends because I am creating this environment for them to do it. And if they don't do it, it's not really my fault, but I want to like encourage them to step outside their comfort zones more because that's like the core behind why I created my senior model team was because I was so shy in high school. I wish I would have like stepped outside my comfort zone more and connected with people more. That's like my only big regret about high school is I wish I would have just talked to people, not been so shy and self-conscious and just made more friends. Oh, my other goal about having a senior model team is to not burn myself out and to set boundaries because I do a lot for my senior model team. Like most of my expenses this year, like I haven't even looked, but I guarantee there is so many expenses invested into my senior model team and time. And so I just need to be a little bit smarter about that because that's part of my problem that I'm in right now. I spent too much money, more money than I had. And so, and a lot of that went into my senior model team because I wanted it to just be so incredible. And so I need to balance finances better and like set stronger boundaries with my next team. Okay, my next goal is to post 1 podcast episode a week and with a planned break to end the season because last year I didn't even have my podcast for a year and I just like stopped doing it. I ghosted it for a few months, which I am honestly so sad about. And I can tell a huge difference in the momentum that I was building for my podcast. Like I could tell it was growing a little bit and then I stopped and it's almost like I have to start over now. And so that kind of sucks. And I think it's just because I ghosted everyone without letting anyone know. So I plan to be more consistent and like hold myself more accountable. And then one more podcast one, I want to feel more confident when interviewing guests. I want to get deeper and ask better questions, which somehow I have 1 week this month where I have like 6 podcast guest interviews in 1 week, like back to back. I have like 3 a day. I don't know how that happened. I just reached out to a bunch of people asking if they'd be on my podcast, and then they all scheduled in like the same day. So that's going to be a busy day, but I'll probably learn a lot about interviewing. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but my next goal is better money management. Stop spending so much money and to feel financially stable over the winter. So, like planning for the seasons because winter is just always slower than the summertime. And so I need to plan a little more accordingly. And I'm actually reading Profit First right now, which is an incredible book. It talks about how, like, businesses getting bigger, when you make more income, that doesn't mean you're necessarily more profitable because you also tend to spend more money when you make more money. And that's kind of my problem. It's like even if I make more money, I'm spending more money, and so I really need to get better at managing money. Okay, my next goal is to feel confident before a client consultation call. So I hop on a call with all of my potential clients to see if it's a good fit for them, really. Like, the purpose of this call is not to book the client, it's really just to educate them about the process, the experience, and see if it is a good fit for them. And I get really nervous before the calls, and a lot of it has to do with just like me being shy and an introvert, but my goal is just to feel more confident going into these calls and be able to communicate my value and everything I want to say more clearly and really just sound like more fluid, I guess, when I talk. And the only way I'm going to do that is by getting in more practice. So, my goal, kind of like to go off of that one, is to get 100 no's. That means getting 100 people to tell me that they don't want to book me because you have to fail so many times before you're going to get yeses. And so I decided to make a no list instead of a yes list, which I think yes is a good number for me would be like 50. I don't know. I think like 50 clients in a year would be a good number. So if I were to make a yes list, it would be 50 or 60, but probably 60. But my goal is to get 100 no's. So that means I have to hop on that many consultation calls with people. And I guarantee by the time I get 100 no's, I'm going to feel so confident going into them. That sounds kind of funny, but I think you get it. And then my other goal is to sell my top photo package. So I have 5 packages and I really want to sell my top package. And I want to throw a client party. This is another thing I talked about in my episode about unique ways to generate leads, and one was throwing or hosting a party for your clients. And that sounds like so much fun. Like, I was thinking about it more. I really want to do something like that and make it really like a exclusive, like, welcome to the Shutterbug family. I want to create more community in my clients. And then my last goal for my business is to read 10 business books, which I'm actually rereading a lot of the books that I read in 2025 because there's just so much information and you read it through the second time and you're like, wow, I missed all of that. So it's been really cool to do that. Okay, moving on to personal. My first one is to complete 75 hard, which I'm on day 2 of 75 hard right now. If you don't know what this is, it's a mental toughness challenge. So the purpose of it is to really push you outside your comfort zone and get you to do things even when you don't want to. Like, it's to make you hold yourself accountable, and it's supposed to change your life. It's supposed to be life changing. I'm only on day 2, so we'll see how it goes. But honestly, I was just like, I couldn't hold myself as accountable as I wanted to be. Like, I kept saying, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. today, and then I wouldn't, or I'm going to go work out, and then I kept finding excuses. And so I'm like, okay, enough is enough. I'm doing the challenge. And honestly, I know I'm only on day 2, and so I know it's going to get a lot harder, but I feel so good. It's almost given me like a new purpose to wake up and do things. Like, I have a new goal, whereas before it wasn't anything like pressing or time concerning. It's like, whatever, I'll do it tomorrow. But now it's given me like a new purpose. And so I have 6 daily tasks that I have to do, and they are wake up at 5 a.m., which that's not a part of the traditional 75 hard challenge. That's just one I gave myself. And then I have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book and then work out twice a day for 45 minutes. And one workout has to be outside and stick to a diet. And I'm just doing no sugar and like not so much fried food. I'm not really strict on the diet part, mostly just the no sugar part, and drink a gallon of water, which I'm drinking just under a gallon. And then lastly, to take a progress picture at the end of the day. And I have to do all of those 6 things for 75 days. And if I miss even one of them, I have to start over from day 0. But this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I kind of prepped myself before even starting it. Like I kind of over the summer, definitely I got in the habit of working out twice a day and drinking lots of water. And I already read a lot. So far, honestly, it hasn't been that different from my typical day. My next personal goal is to be open to talking to new people anytime I go out. So this is anytime I go anywhere, whether it's the store or a party, hanging out with friends. If I see somebody like that I kind of know, or even people I don't really know, I just want to be more open, more extroverted, you could say. Because honestly, I do love talking to people. I just get really in my head and really afraid. And so I just want to be more open, create more connections, and yeah. Okay, next is to schedule time in the summer for yourself. I put this because summer is my busiest year. Like over this summer, I was so busy. I felt like I didn't have a single second. Like I was so backed up on photo shoots and editing. And I really want to schedule time where I can take a few days to just enjoy summer because summer is my favorite time of the year. Like I love hiking. I love paddleboarding. I love swimming. I'm such a swimmer. Like if I could just live in the water, I would love that. And I get kind of sad over the summer because I feel almost like I don't deserve to go to the lake or go spend a day hiking because I just have so much work to do. So I plan to schedule that into my summer. My next personal goal is to journal twice a month. I had journaling in my 2025 goals also, and I did not journal like at all. So I put twice a month because I feel like that's very attainable. But I've been kind of loving writing lately and just like reflecting. I feel like I've learned a lot whenever I actually do sit down and write and reflect. And usually it's because I have to, because I get a question from like a client or something, and then I'll have to really think through it and be like, okay, why do I feel like this? Why do I believe this? Why is this a part of my process? And then just like reflecting, I learned so much about myself. So I really want to journal more, which is funny because I used to hate writing. Like English was my least favorite subject, but I kind of love it now. And also for like social media, it kind of helps me come up with social media content as well when I journal. Okay, the next goal goes back to being more organized. I put plan ahead and know exactly what to do each day. This is the biggest problem, I feel like, with people who get unmotivated, uninspired. They don't know what to do, what to focus their energy on. And so if you create habits and like a schedule for yourself and review your goals daily, then you know exactly what to work on. And I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time. Like, I want to always be working on something that's moving the needle. So, my goal is to be more organized in planning my weeks, my months, my days, and really just always know what it is I need to be working on. And my very last goal is to always make time for family. Family is so important to me. I usually spend Sundays with my parents, and I really need to make more time for Zach, my husband. But I find that I get kind of sad when I'm not around my family for a long period of time, so I also always want to prioritize them. I hope you found some inspiration in this episode. Please comment or send me an Instagram DM and let me know what some of your goals are for 2026. And here's to learning and growing together.